I'm sorry, I'm allergic to unscientific attitudes. Hey folks, it's Josiah David, you know who, and welcome to another episode of the Correcting SolRosenberg84 series. And this one is called Responding to Guide of the Blind again, and I don't know. He says a false analogy, he discusses one of the supposed false analogies in this video. For example, he tries to say this.
Guide of the Blind, it's me again, SolRosenberg84, that lovely and condescending app comes around once in a while to basically make fun of your videos.
You don't have to call yourself names, alright? You're not any of that. I love you like a brother, but you say, I go around making fun of people's videos, and actually you try to be serious in your judging or whatever. You try to establish, like, pure truth by force or whatever. I don't know, you're not really making fun or making fun of people's videos or whatever. You're just thinking you know everything, and then, I don't know, getting so rough about it. I don't know, you just get so rough and condescending about it.
Your analogy basically depends on your interpretation of the criminal system, in which you say that, people get locked away in the court system, they get thrown into jail, and 12 years later, they're released because it turns out that the evidence that put them in jail was wrong. And therefore,
I have to say that really these days, it's basically like run by liberalism, where the criminal goes free while the victim gets punished. That's injustice, okay?
No, what happens is they discover more evidence that proves that the evidence that put him in jail was actually misleading.
Exactly.
And what I gotta really question here is, if you get rid of the standard of evidence for determining belief, what does that leave you with? Personal feelings? What the
personal feelings? No, no, it's not personal feelings. Basically, this is one of the places where they try to say, well, because of this, then this, just because we feel like God exists, like that, it's based upon evidence. Yes, there's a lot of proof, evidence, and confirmation gathered in the favor that God exists, and we're created in such a way to seek after our Creator. We're created to know our Creator, and there's evidence for the Creator, so it's an absolute truth-based truth, standard.
Work. I can get a dog in here, and we don't know its sex, and I can say, I have a personal commitment. I feel and I know that dog is a male. Everyone, I know it's a male. By divine revelation, that dog is a male. Totally. Is that in any way, shape, or form going to affect whether that dog is male or female? If we cast a vote...
I have to say, man, there is evidence that we can determine whether a certain animal is a male or female, and thinking, I know because it's divine. You're trying to put forth this wishful thinking as if for example, specifically trying to say Christian people, those who have been saved, are getting things wrong in reality and so on, and that they don't know anything. What if in reality it's always the Christians getting it right and basically the unsaved people getting it wrong?
If we cast a vote, on whether the dog is male or female, is that in any way going to affect it? Does human emotion have any effect on reality whatsoever?
No, it does not. And I agree with you 100%, but no opinion poll is going to make God go away. And I don't want people thinking that science is atheistic. No, it was established by people who loved God and understood that science is where you can find out the Creator's fingerprint in all of creation. And I have to say that really anything to how false dichotomy or analogy that evolutionists like to bring forth, it's really flawed or whatever. But you might want to hear a very interesting history about jury nullification in American revolutions or whatever. Jurors, I mean, if you passed a law in Wisconsin saying that you can't spit on the sidewalk, and someone spits on the sidewalk, and they got it on camera, they have the whole thing on camera, and he broke the law. But a juror can stand up in court and, listen to the judge and nod his head, but when he gets in the voting room, he can cast his vote not guilty. And people will say, well, what are you talking about not guilty? You saw the tape, you saw it. Yeah, I know, but the law is no good. There are certain laws that can be unfair and unjust and really silly, and so on. And yes, evidence is needed to be gathered, like eyewitnesses and so on, saying this man is guilty, he's the one who committed the crime. And it's typically in the Christian worldview, justice is one of the four cardinal virtues. Biblically, justice is exemplified by just rulers, such as King David or King Solomon, although one does not have to be a ruler or a judge in order to act justly. Anyone can display the virtue of justice during everyday life, for example, avoiding prejudice and deceit, behaving honorably during business dealings, and speaking out against injustice where it occurs. Any common sense people can figure out and see for themselves what injustice can be. So, that's all I have to say for this video. Peace out, and God bless.